Sweet. Good morning and welcome to the Media Speaks Live Saturday morning news show. I'm D-Lake for Prez, David Lake, joined this morning by Kyle Phillips. KP,
Hi guys.
Media Speaks. Kyle, how's it going?
Awesome. This is my favorite show. I'm so excited.
I know I say good morning because it's morning time here, but it's later in the day for you because, of course, there's a time difference between our locations.
Yeah, it's 1 p.m. here. It's more good afternoon here.
Yeah, good afternoon there. And I guess it'd be 2 o'clock in New York on the East Coast.
Fuck them.
Yeah, forget about those people. But hopefully they're joining us. There's a lot of big headlines this week, and this morning, of course, I'm at the Drudge Report. Why don't I just go to screen share so you can see what I'm talking about as I'm talking about it. Yesterday, Trump filled a stadium in Alabama with roughly 30,000 people. It was a Southern spectacle. That's part of the strategy. Thousands turned out. Senator Sessions joined him up on stage. I watched it last night. It was pretty good. There was a couple parts I was like, oh, I got to talk about this, but no, I don't remember what they were because I was getting all drunk. But this morning, top headline, Hillary interrupted. Hillary Clinton is not going to go on to her vacation this week on the exclusive shores of Long Island. But as it turns out, there's no time for a vacation for Hillary. Amid concerns about Ms. Clinton's softening poll numbers and her exclusive use of a personal email server as Secretary of State, she will interrupt her Hampton stay, boo-hoo, next week to travel to the Midwest and try to shift attention back to her campaign message by unveiling new policy positions. I thought she was just going to continue to play stupid. Kyle, did you see they said, did you wipe your server? And Hillary's like, what, with like a cloth or something?
Playing dumb.
Do you think playing dumb is a good strategy for Hillary?
Well, she wants to really get the message of her campaign out. What's the message of her campaign from what I've seen on the internet so far has been like, Benghazi wasn't a planned attack. It was demonstrators. I didn't do anything with my email server. Like, it's all been like defensive. Her message is, I haven't done all these bad things people say I did.
Yeah, and we should just trust her and believe in her. And you know, she's always right. You're always wrong. It's a vast right-wing conspiracy, right?
It is. It is a vast right-wing conspiracy. That's the only way to say it. Hillary Clinton, we need her. The country needs her, D-Lake.
Yes.
I'm coming out as a Hillary supporter today.
Oh, that's awesome.
Ready for Hillary. I've actually seen 2 Ready for Hillary bumper stickers and 1 Donald Trump bumper sticker.
This past week at Sticker Junkie, we're starting to get a lot more. We made a Trump for president. We made a special custom Trump that was like the Beatles and then Trump. And it said Donald Mania. That was a good one. We've made a lot of Bernie Sanders stickers. And I've watched some Bernie Sanders video. I don't know. I can see how people like him. Not a fan of his rhetoric. I was saying to you before the show that, you know, Hillary's always in the headlines. Trump's always in the headlines. I mean, the past couple months, Jeb Bush is rarely making any headlines. None of the other people are. Top 2016 candidates struggle to change subject. You know, that they can't change the subject away from what Trump wants to talk about and the Republicans. Do you think that Joe Biden will run for president, Kyle?
No, I don't think there's a chance. If he was it's too late now. If you are going to run for president, I think you have to have announced by now. I mean, it's way, way too late. There's been some like hints going around that Al Gore might run, but I mean, it's already, the names are already out, you know. If you haven't started, I think it's too late.
I think you have until like the end of September, maybe. So that there's still just a small window of time. It's closing fast, though.
Well, I mean, technically, you could still enter the race, yes. But as far as like the media and getting any notoriety, I think it's too late. I think the media's already picked who the stories are going to be about. And if you don't think that the media decides who the story will be, come on, be an adult. They decide.
Right, Kyle, I'd like to introduce you to a website that I found by clicking a link. It was on my Facebook. The way that Facebook caters to me, they think this is probably something I'll be into. It's called Predict It. It's there on my screen share. And the top question on there, will Biden run? Traders say there's a 57% chance. Predict it now. This is essentially a gambling website where you gamble on politics. Predict it is an
Really?
Yeah, Predict It is
Can
an
I make money?
It is an exciting new real money game that tests your knowledge of political and financial events by letting you make and trade predictions. A project of Victoria University of Wellington, Predict It, is set up to research the potential value of prediction markets in understanding the future. Our job is to study the wisdom of the crowd. Yours is to make your most educated prediction. So you think maybe you know better than the rest of us? Sign up to test your wits and be part of this select group. Let's play politics. You can bet anywhere from like a fraction of a penny up to $850. And featured markets. Who will be the 2016 Republican nominee? Top prediction, Bush with 40, Rubio with 27. Who will win the Iowa Democratic caucus? Clinton with 66, Sanders with 42%. Will Greece exit the euro in 2015? 15% say yes, 85% say no. And there's a bunch of, those are the featured markets, but there's a bunch of markets, how to make predictions, how to browse the questions, and how to trade your shares. So,
Decides the questions.
what's that?
Who decides the questions? Because if users decide the questions, I could make a lot of money on this website.
Yeah, I don't think you make the money off the questions.
Because if there's like stuff on there like, will Hillary go to jail? I can be like, no, $850. Like,
Right. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't bet that much.
no, I wouldn't bet that much either, but I could bet like $10. You know, I can make money here and there. Like, will Hillary win Iowa? Yes. Like,
U.S.
Bush for the nominee. I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know. That's a tough one. But all right, tell me more about this site.
Sure. Let's go click into featured markets.
I'm going to go on the site today. I'm going to make some money.
Will Trump run as a third-party candidate? There's a yes and no in the. It's 24 cents, 76 cents, down 6 cents, up 6 cents. I don't
So does the value of the vote? So it kind of works like the stock market. So like if more people are voting, like yes, the value of like that click costs more.
Right. Yeah. It's like the stock market. I'm starting to see. You know, I've only just.
So are you betting on whether these things will actually happen or how other people feel about them? It's kind of it's a futures.
It's both. It's both because you make your prediction, and then if you feel like your prediction could be more right or more wrong, you trade on other people's predictions. So if someone's changing their mind, you get. You know, I guess you like buy up their shares or sell your shares or something like that, right?
I guess.
So I don't know. I thought it was something that you'd be into, or you might want to check out.
I definitely want to check out that website and start. I feel like I can make a lot of money on this website. What do you think? Because it sounds like you're not predicting what will actually happen. You're more predicting what other people think will happen.
Right. Right, I think so. U.S. politics, Congress. Will Congress reject Iran deal? Will gas taxes rise in 2015? Minimum wage hike in 2015? 87 cents on no, 13 cents on yes. Medical device tax repeal question? 80 cents on no. Will GOP restore the filibuster? 94 cents on no and 6 cents on yes.
Damn. Huh. So they think there's no chance of GOP restoring the filibuster.
That's the general consensus.
That's unfortunate.
I guess NC means no change. No change.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right. Because the first one, will Congress reject Iran deal? It's yes, 14 cents is up 1 cent, and 86 cents for no is down 1 cent. So someone traded a 1 cent share. I would think that's what that means.
So how do you get money into this? Do you just PayPal money into this website?
I think so. Let's go to about how it works. Okay. Does the thought of trading on predictions market seem daunting? It's really pretty straightforward. Honest. To get the hang of it, read our step-by-step instructions below. Then if you still have questions, click support to research the knowledge base. Trading basics. Predicted allows traders to make predictions on potential future events by buying shares in the outcome, either yes or no. Each outcome has a probability between 1% and 99%, with the sum of the two always adding to 100%. We convert those percentages into cents so that every share has a price between 1 cent and 99 cents. For example, trader A thinks an event has at least a 60% chance of taking place, so she offers 60 cents for a yes share. Okay, you got that part, Kyle?
Okay.
We match her offer anonymously with trader B, who is willing to pay 40 cents for the opposite outcome. Each player receives a share. Trader A getting a yes share, trader B getting a no. Each player's position in the market is known as a contract. The price of these shares will change over time. Trader A may decide to sell her yes share if the price reaches 70 cents in order to pocket the 10 cents profit. If an event does take place, if yes predictions turn out to be right, all yes shares will be redeemed at $1. Shares in no will become worthless.
Wait. So if something actually does happen, your share's worth $1 now.
It'll be redeemed at $1, yeah.
Okay, so it's based on the market up until the event. So during the prediction phase, you're betting pretty much against each other.
Right.
Once it happens, like one side gets a full payout, the other side loses their money.
Right. The opposite is true if the event does not take place before the market closes. Traders holding shares in no will be paid $1, while yes shares will be worthless. So that's just the opposite of how it comes out. How to browse the markets. Then they give you an example. Okay, will the left party win the White House? Latest price in this example, 46 cents, up 1 cent. If you want to buy yes, I'm going to buy no on that. So I would click to match offers starting at 55 cents or to make your own lower offer. Notice that the best price available to buy yes shares is 47 cents, slightly above the most recent trade of 46 cents. Other offers may be higher prices. The prices available to buy or sell will often be slightly different than the current marketplace, which represents only the most recent transaction. Now, Kyle, you have to sign up and you have to use your email. Let's say you have your own private server and you only have one email like Hillary Clinton. Weren't you just saying before the show, Hillary, I mean, most people should have 2 emails, one for business, one for personal, or one and a third one for all the junk mail that you don't want to get every day, right?
Your personal, your business, and then your and can I get your email address real quick? Email address.
Now, some people have been running into trouble this past week for entering their email addresses onto a website known as Ashley Madison. And Kyle,
Yes.
Would you like to introduce the Ashley Madison scandal to people that haven't heard of it yet?
Yeah, well, for anybody out there who isn't familiar with Ashley Madison, you obviously don't listen to Howard Stern. They're like his #1 advertiser. And it's a website for people to cheat on their spouses and this is the part that a lot of people aren't really talking about. You can cheat on your spouse there, or if you're like a 19-year-old dude who works out a lot, like you can go on there and find some cougs to bang and they'll pay for everything. So that's the side of it too. It got hacked. Everybody's emails, usernames, interactions, pictures, everything. There's websites
your sexual fantasies and your proclivities and what you're into and all that, right?
Yeah, everything, which I'm just going to say, if you're on Ashley Madison, you're probably on 20 other websites. Your information's out there where if somebody Googles you, they're probably going to be able to find it anyways. I find it hilarious. Everybody's freaking out on like Reddit. There's people admitting to it before their spouses go search. There's entire websites set up where you can search names and email addresses. You can download the full packet, which is like 9 gigs of information, pictures, just like everything. I'm really excited about this, like on a personal level, like it's going to ruin a lot of marriages, but like not a personal level to me, but the big end of this is I'm excited, honestly, for like politicians and bankers and fucking CEOs to be on this list. You know, there's a ton of them.
Yeah, it's starting to come out slowly. A woman in Australia called into a radio talk show that was talking about this, and they had the database open. They took her live phone call. She said ever since basically a hacker group, I don't remember the name, but the hacker group hacked in to Ashley Madison. At first, they were threatening to release the information, and then for whatever reason, they did a data dump. And then just the other day, they did a second, even larger data dump, try to rub it into the Ashley Madison CEO's face. But anyways, going back to the lady in Australia, she says ever since all this news comes out that the site was hacked and they had the information that's searchable, she said her husband was acting really weird, sketchy. The radio guy said, "Give us his name. We'll put it into the database." His name comes up. His email address comes up. The lady freaks out. She says it's disgusting and hangs up the phone.
Yeah, I mean, that's happening literally all over the world right now. And I mean, I don't know. I don't think that what the hacker group did is like noble and like awesome, but at the same time, like people who are getting like busted, it's kind of like there's like a stupidity aspect of it too for me. Like, like I'm sure that you've like been on some website that like you probably shouldn't be on, and you don't use your real email address. You definitely don't enter a credit card number, right?
Yeah. I was saying the other day, talking about Hillary Clinton's email scandal, that back in 1998, 97. Well, the Clintons were still in office, so if I know this much about email, you think that she would too. But she's just going to continue to play dumb and wipe it with a cloth or something. Say, Hillary, you wipe the server clean? What do you mean, with like a blue dress or something? I don't know. But
well, then I want to say too, really quickly, that's something that I've seen a few people alluding to, is like how I just said, like if you were, all right, let's say that D-Lake is married and he wants to go on ashleymadison.com, you don't use your real email address. So what you might do is, like, instead of like dlakeforprez@gmail.com, which is that your email address? All right. dlakeforprez@gmail.com, you might use dsmithforprez@gmail.com instead. And now some dude named Derek Smith is getting divorced because of you.
Yeah, the four Prez is a giveaway. But the headline in today's headlines at thedailymail.co.uk, exclusive: Hollywood actor, NFL star, and top politician are among celebrities frantically calling up expensive damage limitation experts over the Ashley Madison hack. Celebrities are desperately calling up experts to help them manage their reputations following Ashley Madison leak. These include actor from a recent Hollywood action film. Who could that be? Top NFL player. Wonder who that is. Reality TV star. That actually, I believe, is Duggar. Joe Duggar. He was on that show where they have a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
He already issued an apology saying that, he's on there preaching, living the wholesome Christian life and being a good person and all this, while he was secretly addicted to porn and going to Ashley Madison and other websites.
Well, it's kind of like, who was the guy? There was like a musician. I forget who it was, but there was a musician who got caught with like child porn. He's like, I was doing research. Like,
did you hear that? Did you hear this week that Jared is going to jail for he had some child porn and he was trying to hook up with some underage girls?
Yeah, you see, like, I'll be honest, like whenever something like this happens, I always try and tell myself, like, all right, I'm not going to pass judgment. I'm not going to go and say a ton of mean shit about him until like 100% of the facts are out. Mm-hmm. And Jared, I thought it was going to be like less bad, because at first it was like, all right, he
isn't it always worse than he thought it was going to be, though?
It seems like it always is.
You gotta remember that when you're making predictions on Predict It, but go ahead.
Yeah, good point. Maybe they'll break into like Subway representatives doing futures on them. Like, At first they said Jared like solicited a 16-year-old girl for sex, right?
Mm-hmm.
Horrible, not a good thing. But let's be honest, there's a difference between trying to have sex with a 16-year-old and trying to have sex with a 10-year-old. So I was like, all right, that's bad. Let's see what more information. The more and more information, him and his buddy got a sex room and they're filming everything, and younger, much younger than 16. It's like, man, Jared, just fucking keep the foot long in its wrapper. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was hilarious. This week, the cover of the New York Post is like, "Enjoy a foot long in prison." It's like, can you put that on the cover of your magazine?
So I'm confused. Is Jared a dominant in these sexual encounters, or
Oh man.
is he the dominant, or like is he the sub?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. I don't know how that works.
I really dragged that out, but it was worth it.
He's submitting to the footlong.
There's so many jokes to be made. Will he get fat again in prison?
Will he settle for a 6-inch?
I mean, you can't get Subway in prison, so he's gonna have to drop Subway diet, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. When he gets out, he starts marketing the new prison diet. He's like, I lost even more weight.
Well, and then the question too, if he gains all the weight back while he's in prison, is like Quiznos or Bub Sub gonna grab him? I think Bub Subs should grab up Fat Jared, fresh out of prison, and get him to lose all the weight again on their subs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
What
It's just
the hell?
an idea. We got both of us got cat issues.
I don't know. My cat's like meowing all crazy in there. I don't know what's going on.
All right. So, I don't know. There's not much more to say about Jared, and there's not much.
Well, Ashley Madison is an affair website, and I mean, how much longer are they going to be around after this? I don't know.
Are they even? What if you go to ashleymadison.com? Like, what pops up right now?
Dude, I don't want to go to that.
I'm done. Yeah. I have it. See, now I can have, like, if now my name shows up on a list or something, I can refer back to the episode where it really was read.
Yeah.
In fact, I was looking for an excuse to go to Ashley Madison to have that research excuse later when they do their next and there's a ton of my dick pics.
Lives are getting destroyed worldwide, and people are scared and don't want to be next, Kyle. In just 24 hours. In just 24 hours. Dude, I gotta feed them or something. I don't know what the hell's going on. Be right back.
I think it's funny that, like, these hacker groups keep doing things that, like, you think Republicans probably kind of be on board with, the evangelical right. They hate Anonymous, they hate these hacker groups, but they keep hacking, like they hack Ashley Madison. You think, like, the Christians, like, I saw websites hosting, turning into Ashley Madison information websites. Madison has taken a really long time to load. So probably a lot of people trying to get in there and delete their stuff as fast as possible, which is hilarious. D-Lake's over there feeding his crazy cats. D-Lake, I was just saying, Ashley Madison has taken. I think a lot of people are trying to log in and delete all their shit. I mean, if it's already leaked, it's leaked.
Yeah, it's apparently already out there. It's in a separate cache. It's online.
I think the lesson to be learned is to use Craigslist like an adult. Like, just go on Craigslist.
Well, yeah, be careful, though, because I think that's what Jared was doing. I don't know. There's so much corruption and scandal. And, You know, how can they find? They can find all those. They can find all those Ashley Madison users, but they can't, you know, uncover Hillary Clinton's emails. So, you know.
You know what I think? You know what I think's going to happen in the next 10 years, D? Like, I think there's going to be so many hacks. Like, there's so much information about every single person, massive data dumps. We're going to realize that everybody's got fucking skeletons in there, that everybody's got shit that they're not proud of, and eventually, we're just all going to have to accept that there's no such thing as a perfect human being and stop trying to find all this shit on each other. Accept that people cheat on their wives. Some people fuck 16-year-olds. Some people, I don't know, eat Subway sandwiches. Like everybody's got something that they would never want anybody else to know. And like more and more people are just in that information dumped. Eventually, we're just gonna have to realize that human beings, and that's a part of what human beings are, is imperfect. Especially when it comes to getting their dick wet.
Yeah, thinking with the wrong head.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Ashley Madison still has not loaded. It's taken forever.
Yeah, it's making your connection all skippy too, because ever since you try to log on there, your mic's been skippy, or your connection's been skippy.
All right, I got it there. It's obviously not working too well.
Yeah.
All right, what else do you got for me, D? Like, there's
I did watch Donald Trump speaking in Alabama last night to a crowd of 30,000 people, and the way that he takes apart Jeb Bush and just calls him, you know, says he doesn't have high energy, you know, he'd make better deals. He's saying that Hillary Clinton is, you know, likely could do up to 20 years in prison. I know you don't agree with that, but Kyle, let me ask you a downgraded question. Because we've already talked about Hillary going to jail. You don't think that's going to happen. I'm predicting yes. But I don't know. But would you predict that she might drop out of the race?
I don't think so. I think that kind of goes in the same boat as what a lot of people have been saying about Chris Christie, which is like if you drop out of the race, that's like an admission of guilt. If anything, she will intentionally lose the race. She might intentionally lose it if shit starts to get really bad, which it's starting to look like it is. And I will say that if Hillary did go to jail, I want that to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, but it would be awesome if it did. It would make a great TV show. We could call it Orange is the New Pack, like PAC. Is that a good idea for a show?
Well, I mentioned too that when she was doing the interview with reporters, and she's shrugging her shoulders like, I don't know. And then they're like, oh, did you wipe it with a cloth? And she's like, what, with like a cloth? She was wearing like an orange pantsuit. Like it looked like a prison jumpsuit, like Orange is the New Black. And it's like, is that mocking us? Is that trying to rub it into our faces? I mean, who made that style choice?
Yeah, maybe that's somebody like kind of like the Bill Cosby guy who made the Bill Cosby meme generator after all the rape stuff. Like maybe that's like her fashion person actually doesn't really like her and is just like subtly doing things like that. Hillary orange jumpsuit. Wow, that was easy. Oh wow, yeah, that's like totally what Hillary Clinton would wear in person. That's hilarious.
This was her the other day. What? I don't know. I said information.
You know what she reminds me of in that picture? Like the face and like everything. I can imagine how she's talking. Have you ever seen the video where the guy's at the beach and there's like two women trying to like take down a canopy and he's like, oh, do you guys need help? And they're like, yeah, we don't know how this thing comes down. He's like, oh, probably because it's mine. You're stealing my stuff. Have you seen that video? And the women are like,
yeah.
This is like, it's the same face of like just fucking busted.
Totally busted. Totally caught in the act.
Yeah, it's like the face your dog makes when you catch him taking a shit on the carpet.
What? I know, it reminds me of Scooby-Doo, like,
If I was Donald Trump and I just said that, by the way, the headline would be Donald Trump calls Hillary Clinton a dog. Like, that's how the media works in this country.
Yeah, well, they're putting in the headlines that, you know, he's saying she could do up to 20 years. He's sticking to that. What I was going to say is, I mean, the way that he's going after Bush, the way that he's going after Clinton, I mean, do you think this is one of the reasons that I like Trump is I think he's the answer, because going into this election, everyone's biggest fear was everyone's biggest fear was a Bush versus Hillary, 2016 thing. Like they were both going to be their party's respective nominees, and it was going to be Bush versus Clinton, which is a no-win situation for the country. And I think that he's the guy that's sort of taking it apart. Do you think that he's actively trying to destroy the left-right paradigm in a way?
It's hard to say because I mean there's so many theories that do kind of explain away like why he's in the race, like the theory that he's actually doing it to help Hillary Clinton win, like that he's just the guy who Donald Trump's a dude who loves to be on TV, like, but the other side of it is like he's the guy with the money. And he's openly admitted how much money he's given to political candidates and to different politicians to get what he wants done. And it's almost kind of like, he's got a driver who drives his limo, and his limo driver isn't driving fast enough. So finally he's like, fuck it, get out. I'm taking the driver's seat. And like, he's like, all right, I'm just going to do it myself. I will be the politician as well. And I don't know. The question is like, and I've said it a million times, like, do you trust the guy with the money or the person who's being backed by the person with the money? And like neither one seems like better or worse to me. They kind of seem the same.
I think the way that he says it is that it's kind of the difference between, he says Bush is a puppet because he's controlled by the lobbyists and special interests, and he tries to say that he's not. He's more of the puppeteer. He's been a puppeteer, for all this time because he's given money to different groups and probably gotten favors from that, or
yeah. And the question is, does that make him better? Like, does it make him better? Like, whether it's like the puppeteer or the puppet, like it's still kind of the same thing, right?
I mean, I just personally would rather know who the puppeteer was, and he's like, hey, look, I'm the puppeteer.
That's the one thing that I like, is at least he's not like these other scumbags like the Koch brothers and fucking. Like, he's at least got his face out in the open. He's like, yeah, I'm the guy with the money.
Yeah, and when the Koch brothers, they're like kingmakers. When they don't invite Trump to their fundraisers and events, I mean, that kind of shows me something. I mean, he's glad he's not invited. He's like, I don't need your money.
Yeah, and I mean, there was a few. I see your
point though. I see your point though too.
I go back and forth because it's like, I don't know. I say those things like I don't know. Like, do I trust Trump? I don't know. That's my answer. Like, I don't know. He could end up being somebody who actually would be a decent president, as weird as that is to say, or he could just make it into even more of a mockery than it already is. I don't know. It could go either way. But I do like that he's forcing everybody to talk like not politicians. He's blunt. He's like a kid with Asperger's and there's an elephant in the room, Like, he's just going to blurt it out. Like, he's the kid like when your aunt and uncle just got divorced and nobody wants to talk about it, and your Aunt Mary comes over without your Uncle Bill, and like the 6-year-old with Asperger's just, Aunt Mary, why are you with Uncle Bill? And everybody's like, ugh, like, why do you? That's not a question that we were going to ask, Like, he just kind of throws out the awkward questions and the awkward statements that everybody else is thinking, everybody else is talking about behind closed doors. Like, that's the one thing I like, is he's forcing these politicians to not be politicians who think about everything they say before they say. Like, that's nice.
Did you see him posing with the bald eagle?
It's not a real picture.
It's totally real. That's a bald eagle named Uncle Sam for Time Magazine. It's real. It's a living bald eagle bird. He's got the bird glove on and everything.
It's a combination of like 5 things photoshopped together. He's got
It's for real. Look, it's sitting on his desk. He was there. I saw the behind the scenes live footage. It's real.
That's funny. There's
Look,
behind this.
Like there. There he is, Donald Trump. Whoa, whoa,
Oh,
whoa.
wow. Oh, wow. That is real. Who is the person who's like, all right, we need all your, do you have sports memorabilia? He's like, yeah, I got a lot of memorabilia.
No,
And
that's
then
his
they're like,
regular
okay,
office. That's stuff sitting in there regularly.
just put all your sports memorabilia on the table. Let's get an eagle. What's that, a boat on his wall? Or like, get all your cool shit. Or is that just Donald Trump's office normally? He just has his coolest shit sitting around. Actually, that is, because I recognize that from that video he made in like 2012.
Yeah.
Fucking eagle.
And the eagle's name is Uncle Sam, by the way.
Of course it is.
The eagle is like, oh, sorry. The eagle's like 27 years old, so I don't know if that makes it a more docile bird. But it's in the beginning there when it was flapping his wings, he was like, whoa.
That literally looks like a Photoshop picture. The second one down, yeah, where it's just like all of his cool shit behind him, and like
Old painting. Someone did a painting of him when he was young. Around Art of the Deal. That's another cool thing in his speeches. Like he starts talking about Art of the Deal, and people are like, yeah, and then he's like, bring that book up here, and he signs it and gives it back to him. Like while he's getting, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I like about him.
I like him as a character.
I mean, yeah,
Like,
he's a character, and he's got showmanship, and I don't know. There's something cool about that to me.
that's the thing. Like, the more this presidential race goes on, even though it's just barely started, it's like more and more looking like this is gonna be a fucking TV show. This is not like, and it's like when you really think about it, that like, wait, this is how we're picking our president. That's really, really sad. But like, I can't deny how entertaining it is to watch. Like, it is very entertaining. Just everything about it. I don't know. That's where I'm at, D-Lake.
You know, another difference between Hillary and Donald Trump is that Bill and Hillary made how many millions of dollars doing their public speaking? Like $52 million or something?
Yeah.
Doing their public speaking. Anytime that Donald Trump has done public speaking, he's given the money to charity. Now, the next debate, I believe, is going to be on CNN. And he was just sort of brainstorming or, talking to this reporter. And he was saying that after Fox had 24 million people watch the first debate, he knows that he's the big draw. Every time he does an interview, like on Meet the Press with Chuck Todd or Sean Hannity, both of their ratings had huge spikes. They were number one in their time spots because he was on there. And so he's like, should I go to CNN and say, I want $10 million to be in the debates or else I won't do it? And he would give the money to charities, 10 charities, $1 million, like $1 million each. But obviously you can't do that. That's not within the rules or parameters. You can't do that. But he's like, wouldn't it be interesting?
Wait, but what rules? They're bullshit made up rules? Like their new rule this year that if you participate in any other debate, you're banned from the rest of the debates? That's what he should go do, is he should go do some third party debate just to fuck with them. Like, oh, are you not going to invite me back now? Punk ass bitches.
Well,
fuck
yeah,
off.
That's definitely in the Democrats' rule. And we were talking about when is the very first Democrat debate. Yeah, I looked it up. It's not until August 13th. Or excuse me, October. It's not until October. We still have September. It's August, September, and then in October, they'll have their first one. So Hillary has to make it the next, like, however many days. And it was like 45 days. Well, excuse me. It was like 45 days ago that she said, oh, shit, sorry.
Shit's exploding. You're good. Yeah, but like, I think it's funny how, like, the media is really trying to be like the old school media that they used to be, even with the internet, and how it's destroying them. Because I keep seeing articles, like I saw one that's like, Like it was trying to say that Donald Trump isn't a legit candidate because he's funding himself and he's only actually raised $100,000, which is like nothing in comparison to other candidates. It's like, wait a second, like that's the type of shit that everybody hates about political campaigns is all the money that's involved and all the bullshit and all the lobbyists giving them money. And you're saying that it's a bad thing because when you hear like Hillary Clinton gets however many millions of dollars, you think that comes from you and me? You think that comes from somebody sitting at home with a Ready for Hillary's bumper sticker donating $5 online? No, that shit's coming from super PACs. That shit's coming from corporations, unions, lobbyists. Like, I'm glad that he doesn't have that money. Like, I want somebody who doesn't get all those millions.
And Trump brought up the fact that, you know, these super PACs aren't supposed to be, they're not allowed to communicate or work directly with the candidate. They have to work in their separate universe apart from the candidate. But in all of these cases, they're like lawyers and friends, or Jeb Bush's super PAC president is like one of his best friends. And you're saying they don't communicate? They don't talk about it? Okay, give me a break.
Yeah. Stephen Colbert was recently on Stern. And Colbert was talking about how when he ran for president, like kind of as a joke, that he learned a lot about how you run for a campaign. And they had a PAC set up for him that had like a few $1 million in it. And he said after the campaign, he was kind of like, what do we do with this money? And what he found out was whatever the fuck you want. You can do anything that you want with that money. And he's actually challenged people. Find out what happened to my money. Find out what happened to my presidential campaign money, because you can't. He knows what happened to it. But he said like, and it went to like a ton of charities and stuff. He didn't do anything horrible with it, but he's like, try and track that money. You can do anything you fucking want with that money. He ended up like apparently giving that money to Jon Stewart because he can't like directly get it, but he can just give it away to somebody. So he gave it to Jon Stewart, who donated it to multiple charities. But like he was talking very openly, like Sarah Palin lives off of like, it's like Palin PAC or something like that, or Sarah PAC. And she lives off that money. She's been appointed the CEO of it, and that's where she draws a paycheck from. Like, you can do anything you want with that money.
That's crazy. You can do anything. You could just hire yourself and give yourself a paycheck.
Yeah. Like, you got to listen, like, Stephen Colbert on Howard Stern. It was, like, this week, I think. I heard it on Sirius because we bought a brand new car, so we have 1 year of Sirius XM.
Oh, no. That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. It just frustrates me, man. It's like I see like why like where it seems you're kind of at, where it's like with Donald Trump, it's just like, fuck it, why not? You know, like fuck it. At least that dude talks real. At least he's not a phony politician. Like fuck it. Like can it get
and another thing I really like too is go back and listen to him on Howard Stern like a couple years ago or earlier this year, or go watch him on Letterman earlier this year or a couple years ago, or listen to him on these other programs. I mean, a lot of the stuff that he's saying now, he was saying back then. I mean, sure, you can go be like his opponents and dig up some liberal progressive stuff that he was saying, you know, back in the 80s and 90s. But I mean, he's you know, he's evolved.
Well, you see, even that, like, and again, I'm not saying this is what I believe. I'm just throwing out an idea here that whenever they throw out like, oh, well, you supported this like Democrat thing or this liberal thing, like that also makes me think that he might be more libertarian. Because when it comes to a lot of social issues, libertarians are like, there's some Democrats that I like as a libertarian. Like I've said it before, I have no problem with Dennis Kucinich. Like I like some liberal programs, like. So I don't know. Maybe that makes me trust him a little bit more.
Right. Well, he's a silent majority, and he is tapping into the Tea Party because those are people that are disenfranchised with the establishment.
Yeah. Well, everybody is right now. Most people right now kind of have this fuck the government mentality. Like the government hasn't done anything for me. Not that it necessarily should. It's only done negatives. It's only impinged on my ability to live my life. Like 90% of the shit in your life that makes you want to pull your hair out is because of the government. Having to get fucking emissions tests on your car. Like just don't even get me started on cars. Having to go to the DMV, having to have a license that's updated every 4 years or whatever it is, having to have registration that you pay on annually, having to pay 50 cents a gallon on tax directly to the government. Like when you ever anybody out there listening who's ever bought property, it's so fucking hard to buy property, and the number one reason is because of government interference. Where did you get this money? Where did this money come from? How long have you had this money? What's your income? Let's see, 1,000 pay stubs. Now you have to pay taxes monthly, or you can set up a special account which costs extra so that we pay your taxes. It's just people are tired of it. And then they see on top of that, the government keeps asking for money and keeps taking money. And they see that their parks and their roads look like shit. They're not getting anything from it. Like, we have these endless wars. Like, how many countries are we at war in, D? Like, I'm a dude who, like, pays very close attention, and I couldn't even tell you. What? We're in Syria-ish? Afghanistan, Iraq-ish? Like...
Yeah, we're on multiple fronts, and we're in South Korea, where North Korea and South Korea are, going back and forth, and Kim Jong-un is drawing up his war plans.
Yeah, we've been there. The DMZ, that's been around for what, 50 years now? We're never leaving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's just people are tired of it, and so they see somebody come around like Trump, who's like very blunt and like. They're like, fuck it, that guy. Yeah, like, why not? Why not the guy who's at least going to be honest? The guy who's at least going to talk like a normal human being that I understand and I, like, connect with in some way. I think a lot of people who are going to end up voting for Donald Trump don't even really like Donald Trump. It's just that his likability compared to everybody else on that stage. Like, people aren't going to be voting for Donald Trump. They're going to be not voting for anyone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm scrolling through stuff right now. Got a lot of Donald Trump news. It's like once I've clicked on Donald Trump links, so many times in the past couple of weeks that now my news feed on Facebook is just like Trump.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know what? Throughout the course of this conversation, you know what? I think I'm going to vote in the Democrat primaries this year.
Vote in the primaries just to see who's going to be in it?
Well, you get a choice for when you vote in the primaries. You get to vote for one of the two. And now I got animals barking. Here, do you take over? Explain the primary process. I'm going to see why there's barking.
Well, I don't know how much I can tell you about the primary process other than, you have the parties, the competing parties. I mean, you have more than just the Republicans and the Democrats, but let's just focus on that for a second. The Democrats will elect their nominee right now who's running in the Democrats. That would be Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, Martin O'Malley, Chaffee, Webb, some other people that I don't even know but will be introduced to soon. Like I said, their first debate isn't even until October. They're only going to have 6 debates. Like Kyle said, if you participate in a non-sanctioned debate, then you can't participate in the sanctioned debates. And lawyers from O'Malley and some of the other candidates are saying that's a bunch of BS. Like, we're not going to stand for that. But even the Republicans have their rules, and the Republicans, there's 17 people running, and it's a whole big crowded circus car field, and they'll elect their nominee. Democrats elect their nominee in the primary, and then those two competitors will go head to head. And like I said, there are other parties, but just focus.
Yeah, but when you vote in the primaries, you can only vote in one. So when you go in, they ask you Republican or Democrat, and you get each ballot. There's no how do you test that? Like, I changed my mind since the last election. Fuck off. So I'm going to vote in the Democrat primaries, which there was a lot of rumors that the Democrats did that in the Republican primary last election. So I'm going to vote in the Democrat primary, and I'm going to vote for Bernie Sanders. It's more important than picking who's going to be on the Republican side. It's more important to try and make it not Hillary, I think.
Oh, that's a good point.
Is that fair? Is that fair of me to say I would rather, instead of voting for somebody on the Republican stage, just vote against somebody, go for Bernie Sanders? Because Bernie Sanders, I don't know a lot about the guy, I'll be honest. I haven't been doing too much research. I see people saying that he cares about people on one side, and the other side they call him a socialist. I could honestly give a fuck. He's as long as it's somebody who isn't Hillary Clinton, at least when we get to the main election stage.
Right.
And a lot of people seem to like him. I see a lot of people I'm friends with becoming Bernie Sanders people.
We've been making a lot of stickers for Bernie Sanders too. Hunk of Bernie love. Talk Bernie to me. Bernie Sanders is my spirit animal. All kinds of funny ones. But Sam pre-recorded a science show for a news from the science front today. However, Sam, come on, man, the audio quality is way too low for us to rebroadcast. But everyone, go check it out on the Media Speaks and get the news from Sam on the science front. Do we have any entertainment news, Kyle? What have you seen lately? Nick Cage movies, something like that?
Yeah, I was watching Nick Cage Can See 2 Minutes into the Future.com, the movie, or whatever it was called. Nick Cage movie. Movie is so dumb. Would you ever believe? I don't even need to explain the context. Is there any situation where you would believe that Jessica Biel falls in love with Nick Cage?
You and I have better shots with Jessica.
Yeah. Like you and me together as like both or nothing have a better chance of getting Jessica Biel than Nick Cage does. But Nick Cage and Jessica Biel did fall in love in this movie that I highly recommend called Nick Cage Can See 2 Minutes into the Future.com.
Okay.
Or whatever it was called. That movie was super dumb. Yeah, then we watched Kingsman last night, which was pretty decent. It was all right, but some of the dialogue and some of the writing was really shitty.
Hey, your buddy Joel Osteen.
Yeah, I saw something about like tickets for his event were really expensive or something.
Tour ticket prices reach $850. Cost of gospel hits all-time high. People are paying $850 to hear him preach the gospel.
I think that's dumb. I'm not going to tell anybody to go spend that money. I certainly wouldn't spend that money, but I love how people make it into like a Joel Osteen's evil thing. Like, do you think Joel Osteen has any choice over ticket prices?
It's the law of supply and demand, right? I mean, that many people.
That's how when I read that, I kind of thought like, well, if people are going to pay it, I guess. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I don't think that Joel Osteen is definitely a businessman. He's making money, but he's making money by telling people how to be good people. Like, I don't think that he's the fucking next Messiah, but like people trying to turn that into him being like evil or malicious, I think is kind of funny. And again, like not a Christian, not somebody, I don't own any Joel Osteen anything, but like, I don't think that he's evil. I think he's probably a pretty nice guy.
I'm sure he is.
I don't know, but like, I don't know. I didn't read into that. I didn't waste my time, but like it looked like it wasn't even the price of like just his. It was like other stuff as well. So I'm gonna put this little puppy on the bed. But yeah, we watched Kingsman. You said you saw Kingsman?
Yeah, I saw it.
I thought it was good. The writing was kind of shitty in some parts. Like, there's a part that's really bugged me. All right, like where you hear Sam Jackson's voice, and he's like, I tried to do all the things, and I'm just he like explains his entire backstory. Like, I started off in the tech industry, and I tried to change the world through lobbying and political action, but I found that doesn't work. And so now I'm trying this, and then he explains his plot, and it like zooms out, and he's in the White House. Like, that is such shitty writing. That's like the most shitty writing where it's like you just made a bullshit scene just to give a character an excuse to explain to you who his character is. Isn't it like the #1 rule of like movie writing and acting? Like, don't say it, show it. Like, that one scene just annoyed me a lot.
Yeah, all the exposition.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Did we watch anything else recently? That Nick Cage movie. I finished reading The Martian recently.
Oh yeah, that looks like it's going to be a good movie.
It is. That movie will easily be like the next Interstellar. It's going to be really. If they follow the book, which by the 2 trailers they've released, it looks like they're going to follow it pretty well. That's going to be a dope movie.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Do you want to watch a video of Ted Cruz getting into a surprise confrontation with actress Ellen Page on gay rights at the state fair?
Sure. All right. While you're setting that up, tell me, have you watched anything good already? Oh, it's already ready.
Oh, wait.
Got no audio.
We're living according to the so for example,
It's really windy and hard to hear.
All right. Well, Ellen Page yelled at Ted Cruz. That seems.
She's like,
like
what
the right
about
thing to
people?
Well, haven't I said before, like, if there's one thing that's going to stop the Republicans from having any chance of winning anything this election, it's their social issues. They fucking suck on social issues. And I'm sorry if I sound like a progressive douche right now on MSNBC, but they're fucking anti-gay and they're anti-women's rights. It's as simple as that, and they're going to lose because of it.
All right, I'm trying to switch back to me. Yeah, I did watch something pretty good. Whoops. I did watch something pretty good the other night. This movie, Chronicle.
Who's in that? Wait, let me see. Chronicle. Is that like Chronicles of Riddick? Or
No,
something totally.
Chronicle. I don't know what's going on here. I'm all frozen.
I can see you.
Okay. So, you know the Fantastic Four movie that just came out, and they said that Josh Trank and the producers had a bunch of back and forth and difficulty, and the film was ruined. But this was Josh Trank's first film, and it's a what do you call it when you follow the cameraman around the whole movie? Like what's
like
that called?
A POV?
Yeah, I guess maybe it's kind of like a POV. Well, like Cloverfield, where they found footage.
Oh, found footage. Yeah.
So anyways, it's kind of like a found footage film because someone's always got a video camera. And these three kids, teenagers, Dane DeHaan, Michael B. Jordan, and the other guy, Alex Russell maybe, they go into this there's this hole that they find, and they go in and there's some
that's the one where they have superpowers on their nosebleeds.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
They're flying
Yeah,
around.
that was a good movie.
Yeah, they become spiritually connected where their nose bleeds when something bad's happening to the other one.
Yeah, that movie didn't do very well, but I saw it and it was good.
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones that got more, it wasn't a box office smash, but it garnered more attention afterwards. Like the movie Idiocracy that I was just talking to a friend about this week who's never seen it, or maybe saw it but couldn't remember. But that movie Idiocracy, the Mike Judge movie?
Yeah. Great movie too.
Yeah, Augustus Invictus, who we're hoping to have on the show maybe next week that we were talking about last week, he had a post on his page, 7 ways that, the times that we're living in now are becoming more and more like Idiocracy.
Well, as much as that movie was a comedy, Mike Judge was reflecting.
Yeah, it was a social commentary. It was social commentary at the same time, right?
Yeah, he was reflecting what he was seeing in society. Mike Judge is actually a very, very smart guy. People don't realize he ended up in animation because he's so smart. He started out he programmed high power computers for the government and shit in the 80s is where he started from. Wow. He's got a degree in computer something or other, really high level shit. He is a smart guy. And King of the Hill was a good show. Beavis and Butthead, I'm not a huge fan of, but it was all right. But yeah, that's kind of like Snowpiercer was like that too, where nobody even heard of it, but then when it hit Netflix, it exploded.
Yeah, totally. There's always gonna be movies like that. But here's some screenshots of Idiocracy, the movie. Ow, my balls. That wasn't laugh right. There's the money, a $10 million bill. Hauling ass, getting paid $10K. That's what I'm talking about.
It's hilarious. I got to go back and rewatch that movie. The President Mountain Dew Pervert.
Yeah.
Mountain Dew Pervert Camacho.
You talk like a fag, and your shit's all retarded. There's Justin Fox. He was hilarious in that movie. Oh yeah, Fox News with the bodybuilder naked, the wrestlers do the news.
I think I'm gonna watch
it's definitely a classic in my book.
Yeah, that's definitely. Are you see anything else good recently?
I know that Chronicle is what I watched this week or the other night. Been watching a lot of, I come home and I'm watching like news clips and stuff. Donald Trump's speech, that was entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think he's doing good staying on message, because once you start doing your stuff, you repeat a lot of the same stories because you're trying to make those same points all the time.
Yeah.
And in 2012, I was all about watching like all the Ron Paul stuff that came out,
Yeah. And Ron Paul's been doing some cool stuff recently. He's got that internet show that he's been doing. Forget what it's called. It's pretty good though. I've seen a few episodes of it. Jesse Ventura's just totally like bowed out. Like he hasn't said anything about running in a while, except for that he wants to be Donald Trump's running mate, which is kind of a cheap. Like
he's like, oh, they're good friends though.
Are they?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know they even knew each other.
Did you know that Donald Trump was in the WWE?
What, like a cameo?
Yeah, and he I don't know what kind of money he had invested in it, but yeah.
That makes sense. That's the one thing that kind of worries me is Donald Trump is like the type of dude who just he's a camera fucker. Like he loves to be on camera. Like, come on, that dude loves being on camera.
Oh yeah, remember last week when you said that who was it? One of the Baldwin brothers wanted Scott Walker to win so that he could play him in the TV movie?
Yeah.
Did you know that Cuba Gooding Jr. played neurosurgeon Dr. Ben Carson in the TV movie?
Wait, already did? I thought you said was going to.
No, he already did. It's called Gifted Hands. It came out a few years ago.
Oh, have you watched it?
No, I'm gonna go look it up. It was a TV movie, so it's probably like on YouTube or something.
Yeah, because I saw you posted that, and Cuba Gooding Jr. There's my comment. He's gonna be playing Jews.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be playing O.J. Simpson in an upcoming movie. Is that a joke?
Yeah.
Or is that for real?
No, that's apparently real. I heard that on like This American Life.
Wow.
So I gotta see this Ben Carson movie. How is this not like exploding? How did Netflix not buy this already? Like,
well, I'm sure it's not like it's more about his role as a doctor, a neurosurgeon, and all that and stuff.
But he's a candidate for president right now. I'm sure a ton of people would watch that.
He's rising in the polls, man.
He is, because he's another one who's just not a political asshole. Like my biggest worry with Ben Carson is he's not the best public speaker, and apparently he's like there's some things I disagree with him on, like vaccines and stuff. But I don't know. I like Ben Carson. He's all right in my book.
He took a trip to the border and a helicopter ride this week with Border Patrol and some sort of expert on the topic, and they were showing him all the drug cartels like 70 miles in, on American soil, where they hide out, where their lookouts are, their drug routes, and all that stuff. And he was suggesting that instead of making this like a political issue, we need to make it a military issue. Maybe drone bomb their hideouts and their tunneling and all that. He wasn't saying kill people. He was saying destroy their, where they move around,
See, that's just one thing I don't get is nobody will talk about in like the issues that we have with Mexico. Nobody wants to talk about fixing Mexico. Like that's not even an option. It seems like nobody wants to talk about like somebody said it though. Somebody said it on the stage, like in the debate, like, yeah, you can build a fence and they're just going to dig holes. Like, and that's like so true. I forget who said that, but
we have X-ray technology. We can prevent that.
But yeah, like let's talk about fixing Mexico. As long as Mexico sucks balls, as long as we share a border with a third world country, they're gonna get here. They're always gonna figure out a way to get here. You can fucking bomb the tunnels as much as you want, build the most badass fence ever made, and they're gonna fucking fly over it, or they're gonna take a boat around it. They are gonna figure out a way.
We're gonna call it the Great Wall of Trump.
Like, that's my one thing with all of them, and Trump's a big wall guy. Like, a wall isn't going to help anything. It's not going to – a wall is not going to stop a single person from coming. All it's going to do is going to fuck up the environment, and it's going to cost a lot of money. That's all it's going to do. Nobody wants to talk about that either, how a wall would totally fuck up the environment. Like, you have, like, species that cross that area for, like, multiple reasons throughout the year. Like,
animal species? What do you mean?
yeah. I mean, there was a video InfoWars did where they showed, like, there was a part of, like, the existing wall where they have to, like, lift it up for, like, 6 months out of the year for, like, migrating turtles and shit. Like, there's animals that use that area. Like, you're gonna fuck stuff up if you put a wall there. It's not just as easy as putting up a fence around your yard. It's a fucking border with another country.
All right, Kyle, get us out of here.
All right, we're ready to wrap up. Sorry, having some. I'm Kyle Phillips. Find me on the internet, themediaspeaks.com. The Media Speaks on YouTube. The Media Speaks on Twitter. The Media Speaks on Facebook. Wherever you want. You can find my personal channel, NoseHair515 on YouTube, if you want to. You don't have to, though. No pressure. D-Lake for Prez. You can find him the same place as his personal channel, D-Lake for Prez on YouTube. Or the Media Speaks DOT.com on YouTube, where we put all of our live shows, all of that good stuff. Sam isn't here today, but you can find him, The Correct Views on YouTube, The Correct Views on Tumblr, XX, Correct Views XX on AOL Instant Messenger. It's all over the internet. So if you don't know how to use your internet, that's your problem. And bye.